Hey there, everybody. Pete here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another edition of the show alongside my partner in crime here.
Hello again, comic book fans. I'm Wild Bill, the Unknown Comic. And we've got an unusual show today about collectibles.
Yeah.
The show's called Comic Book Geezers, but most of the time when you go into a comic book shop, 9 times out of 10, there are also baseball card comic book shops. Baseball/comic book card.
Yes.
Baseball cards and comic book shops.
That's right.
So today, I'm going to talk about my baseball card collection. Don't have a lot of cards. I stopped collecting in 77, and then I gave those cards away. I guess I started collecting in around 71 or 72. My collection of baseball cards is between 71 and 77.
Yeah, I was the same way. I got rid of all mine a couple years ago. I sold a bunch of boxes of them for a couple $100 just because I'm like, what am I going to do with these,
Yeah.
So
that's when I had the 1977, I had a stack about this high from the 77 season, and I just gave them away. But anyway, I pulled out some interesting things, I hope. I tried to pull out some really good players. A lot of these guys I never heard of when you look back in time. Some of these guys. So I tried to pull out Hall of Famers you could recognize, like Reggie Jackson. This is from 1974. This card. These are 74. Who else do I have here? Bobby Mercer in action.
Wow.
Okay. Rod Carew.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
The Minnesota Twins. This is actually a 1972 card. That's what they looked like in 72.
And each year they made them look different, which was cool.
Steve Garvey, the Dodgers.
Look at how young he looks there.
Pretty boy. The prettiest boy in baseball. He should have been a male model, not a baseball player, that guy. Dusty Baker.
Wow.
From the Braves before he made it to the Dodgers.
Yep.
Charlie Huff.
Wow, look at how young Charlie's looking there. Because Charlie,
one of the guys who gave up one of the 3 home runs to Reggie Jackson in that World Series in 1977 when Jackson hit 3 home runs. He got one off of this guy, Charlie Huff.
Yep.
From the Dodgers.
Knuckleballer.
Yes. And he threw a knuckleball to Jackson when he hit that home run. Bill Mazeroski, thank you. I'm reading backwards. Bill's the guy that crushed the Yankees in the 1960 World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Yankees. Went 7 games, and this guy crushed a home run to win it for the Pittsburgh. So when I saw that, I was like, I never knew there was a Jeter in baseball that wasn't Derek Jeter. I never knew there was a Johnny Jeter. When I saw Jeter, I was like, wait a minute. So I pulled this just to show you. I always thought Derek Jeter was the first Jeter in baseball. I didn't even knew there was another Jeter before him.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
I just learned that last night when I went through this collection. Chris Chambliss, formerly with the Cleveland Indians, before he joined the Yankees.
Yep, look at that.
Who else? Mr. Bob Gibson.
Nice.
This guy could throw some heat.
One of the greatest pitchers of all time, right?
This guy could throw some heat, man. Sparky Lyle.
Look at that.
Without a mustache.
That's right. That's when he probably first signed with the Yankees.
Yeah, this is 1974, this card.
Yeah.
And they picked him up from Boston. And they picked up Lou Piniella.
Look at that. Sweet Lou.
From the Kansas City Royals.
Traded.
Yes. And Lou actually said he cried when he heard the news he was being traded from Kansas City because he liked Kansas City. Yeah. That was the first team to call him up into the majors. Davey Lopes. Wow. A guy that just couldn't hit one by Greg Nettles in the World Series. 77 and 78. But he was a great second baseman for the Dodgers.
Spark plug.
Phil Niekro.
Wow, nice.
Another great... Wasn't this guy a knuckleballer? This guy? He was a good pitcher, too. He was around.
I'm pretty sure he was a knuckleballer, if I remember correctly. There was a few.
Now, you got... This one's like an honorable mention. You got... What's that?
The All-Stars, yeah.
Yeah, you got Rod Carew, and I think that's Joe Morgan. I'm reading backwards. That's Joe Morgan.
Yep.
All-Star second baseman. I thought Rod Carew later on played first base.
Yeah.
Right? Here you got Carlton Fisk.
All right. Nice action shot there. Waiting to tag someone out, huh?
Yeah. Who else we got here? I think this is Steve. It's Greg Lazinski.
He was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
Yep. My family in Philly loved this guy.
Bull, yeah. Oh, he was great. All he did was hit home runs. That's it.
Here's an impression of my family in Philly. You see the Phillies game last night? No, why? What happened? Lazinski got up in the bottom of the ninth and hit a home and we won.
We what?
Wanned. We won the game.
We won the game?
Yep. Doc Ellis, another pitcher. In Philly, all TH words sound like an F. Throw the ball. What do you think? I'm through with you. Brooks Robinson. 1974. Baltimore Orioles. The greatest third baseman. Him and Greg Nettles, probably the two greatest third basemen in the history of baseball. Yeah, defensively.
Yeah.
Mike Schmidt was another one.
There's another one, yeah. Look at him without the stash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Philadelphia. And he retired. Didn't he play his whole career with Philly?
Yep.
Mike Schmidt?
Did. Yep. Certainly did.
Another classic pitcher. Jim Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
But then when he was 45 years old, after coming out of retirement, he tried to make a comeback, but it didn't work. So he stayed retired. But another Hall of Famer, Jim Palmer.
Yep.
Nolan Ryan.
Oh, there we go.
He played for everybody, even the Mets.
Yep, that's where he started.
Harmon Killebrew.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was...
slugging first baseman, yeah.
I saw him on Letterman. He was a guest on Letterman once. Joe Torre.
Oh, look at that.
I just pulled that out because he was a Yankees manager, but yeah. Joe was with St. Louis for quite a few years.
Yep, and the Mets.
Mickey Rivers before he joined the Yankees.
Wow.
He was part of the World Series teams, the 77, 78.
I forgot he was with the Angels beforehand.
Yeah, Mick the Quick.
Yeah.
Sandy Alomar.
Wow.
These are all booked. These are 76. These cards are 1976, I believe.
Fred Stanley, I remember him.
Yep.
Couldn't hit for shit, but he was a good fielder.
Defensively, yeah.
Yeah.
They called him the Chicken.
Yep.
Doc Ellis.
Wow.
Roy White.
Wow.
Greg Nettles.
There we go.
He was the man. Clutch hitter, Greg Nettles.
Yeah, he was.
Thurman Munson.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
The only Thurman Munson card I have. So this one's probably one of my prized cherries. Willie Randolph.
Mm-hmm. Look at how young he is there.
Yeah, he was right. He came over from Pittsburgh.
Yep. Wow.
Chris Chambliss when he becomes a Yankee. Catfish Hunter. Jim Hunter.
What's up with the Yankee bias here?
I'm just going through my collection, buddy.
That's not one Met card I see.
No. Well, when you lived on the East Coast, you got all the players from the West Coast. It was very hard to get New York teams. Remember when you were collecting as a kid? They didn't come through much. Dick Tidrow. Mickey Rivers as a Yankee. Special recognition to Walter Johnson. This guy is like, if you had an original baseball card from this guy back in the day, that's like one of the most expensive baseball cards I heard, Walter Johnson. Now we're going back to 1973. Tommy John. I actually have an autographed baseball at home for Tommy John.
Really? Wow.
For dog sitting. Remember the people I used to dog sit for? It says to Bill, thanks for dog sitting.
Very cool.
He's got a definite sense of humor. Sparky Lyle.
Look at those mutton chops.
I should have brought that baseball to show it off. Didn't think. Rod Carew. Another one. This is 1973. Rich Goose Gossage when he was with Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, you forget some of these teams they were with before.
One of the greatest baseball players ever. Ty Cobb.
Yep.
That's his. Didn't Pete Rose beat his hits?
Yep.
But Ty Cobb, one of the interesting stats I found out about this guy, he was at bat 14,000 times plus and struck out, guess how many times?
Not a lot, right?
Less than 400. He struck out like 370 times. He was at bat 14,000, I don't know, 14,300. 14,000 at bats and only strikes out 300 some odd times. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
This card, I think, is very valuable, in my opinion. It was printed before his death. Roberto Clemente. He wound up dying in the off season between 72 and 73, I believe.
Yeah.
And this card was the 73 season. So I think this card came out, this was printed before his death, but then released after his death, I believe. This is the last Roberto Clemente card, I believe. Willie Mays, here's your Mets.
There we go.
Okay, okay. You feel better now? Okay. And it's a great player to show off, right?
Yeah, even though it was at the end of his career, but still.
Yeah. But he was amazing.
Mel Stottlemyre.
Yes. Just passed away a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yankee legend
Pitched
and coach.
for them and was their pitching coach for many
Helped
years.
them out through all those dynasty years in the late 90s. Another Carlton Fisk.
Yeah.
Young version.
Not looking too happy there.
No, was he ever? I don't know. Another Bob Gibson.
Cool.
Ken Singleton.
Oh, really good player.
And a great Yankee announcer he was
Yep.
10, 20 years ago. Don Zimmer.
Look at that. The Zim.
Before he was a manager for Boston, prior.
Yeah, I forgot. Wow, I totally forgot he managed the Padres. Jeez.
Yeah, he left.
Padres were a pretty new team at the time.
And he left and eventually became the manager for Boston.
Yeah, yeah.
And then later on in the 90s was sitting on the bench with the Yankees.
Yankees, yeah.
Ray Fosse.
Oh, I remember Ray Fosse. Wow.
He was a great catcher for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, yeah.
With that dynasty team. All wrapped up in plastic. Hank Aaron.
Oh,
This is the 1975 card. Hank Aaron. Home run king.
That's right. The true home.
The first guy to beat Babe Ruth's record.
Yep.
Without steroids.
That's right. That's right.
Pete Rose.
There we go.
Honorary mention, Pete. Great ball player here, but what an attitude. Arrogant. Lou Brock.
Nice.
The first... this guy in the 70s was the stolen base king.
Yep.
Lou Brock. When Ricky Henderson broke the stolen base record, it was Lou Brock record that was broken.
And then Ricky obliterated it, probably never to be broken again because nobody cares about stolen bases anymore.
I don't know if you can read the back of it. It's got the plastic on it. He had like 700 or 800. He had like between 700 and 800 stolen bases, and Ricky Henderson finished with just over 1,400, like 1,420 or something like that. Here's Tom Seaver.
Oh, there we go.
There's a Met.
There's a Met.
One of the greatest pitchers for the Mets.
Yep.
And the last card I'm going to show you is another awesome closer. Well,
you got two.
I got Dennis Eckersley.
Nice.
Prior to him being with Oakland, right? He was the closer for the Oakland A's teams in the 80s.
Yeah, he went from being a starter to a closer, and he also pitched for the Red Sox, too.
Yes, he left Oakland and went to Red Sox, right?
Yeah, one of the few people who was primarily a starter, and a really good one, probably would have been a Hall of Famer even as a starter, and then reinvented himself as a reliever, and he was dominant.
He was a hell of a closer, this guy, man.
Yeah.
And I got Andre Dawson here.
Oh, great player.
Another great player.
Yep.
Didn't he also play for the Cubs, I think?
Yep.
At some point? But
he finished his career at the Cubs. Look at the Expos. A fairly new team at the time. Yeah.
Yep. So
Hawk.
Yeah, I got a bunch more cards, but I just want to pick out guys that I recognize.
There. Yeah, those are really good.
So that wraps up my baseball card collection presentation for this episode of Comic Book Geezers. It's all about the collectibles, kids.
That's right.
So I hope you like this deviation from what we've been doing. And as always, please click the like button if you like this video. Please tell your friends about Comic Book Geezers and click the notification bell so you can be kept in the loop every time we got a new video. And stay tuned for more Comic Book Geezers. And as always, thanks for your support, your comments, and your feedback. We'll catch you next time.
And I am Pete. Thanks for watching, everybody. For Wild Bill, we bid you adieu. See you later.
Bye.